今回はストライキを解決するクエストです。では、中心人物っぽい人と話します。
Welcome, fellow disgruntled worker. Can't say I recognize you. You come from a different plant to support our cause? We're causing trouble. We just found out that we're basically slave labor. And now we're learning to stand up for ourselves. We need the proletariat to yield to, worker subjugation by xenophobic proxy? No, that ain't right. But it's something that sounds super fancy when Will explains it. Honestly, we just want to eat, sleep, and relieve ourselves on a reasonable schedule. But the damn overseer, I think she's getting rich off of breaking our backs. I ain't sure how you're gonna get in. This door is barred from the inside, and I don't think there's another way in on the ground floor. That's right, folks! Keep the chanting going!
ここから入れないので、他の場所から入ります。ここから入って工場長と話します。
Reeks of corporatist in here.
Perhaps a sprout has perished elsewhere in the vents.
.この端末で工場長の弱みを手に入れます。
Reminds me more and more of Tau Ceti by the minute. If these folk burn this place to the ground, I ain't telling.
.それでは話してから従業員側のリーダーと話します。
Where we create tomorrow's brands today. I assume you are the disruption ameliorator from home office? It was about damn time you got here. This labor stoppage has put us almost a full week behind schedule and is making me look quite the fool. Some ne'er-do-wells, have incited our workers to halt all work. They've taken to making demands and carrying on about basic dignity and human rights. It should go without saying that such flights of fantasy have no place inside Auntie's Choice. And if we were still in Tau Ceti, they would face grave consequences.
I reckon she's got her wires crossed. Basic dignity is what Auntie's Choice promised us when we signed up, so long as we were good at our work. And while we might have faced grave consequences back on Tau Ceti, it was under old management, who were trounced rather thoroughly in the end, I might add.
Nevertheless, here we must focus on getting these ingrates back to work and remind them that they're damn lucky to have Auntie's Choice to dedicate their lives to. Absolutely. These lugs have been positively exalted in the good fortune of rising to their limited station within the meritocracy that Auntie has derived for us. Why? Can you imagine suffering under the yoke of a sovereign's rule? Or floundering at the ridiculous direction of those claiming to know the future by way of math? No. Only only within Auntie's choice can these drudges achieve genuine prominence. If they exhibit excessive dedication, they may even earn some modicum of the success I have enjoyed. You're asking me? That clearly is your domain. Running this invaluable facility on Auntie's behalf is mine. As a managerial administrativist, and when I say I, it is critical that you understand that as director of this facility, I should effectively be treated as though I were an executive. Is that clear? Well, there's no call for rudeness. It's unnecessary, unprofessional, and distracts us from the important business that I have the direct authority to dispatch you upon. This plant relabels dated items with new Auntie's Choice trademarks and slogans. It is critical to keeping revitalized products on the shelf for consumers hungry for something new. So, the workers may be unhappy, but they must realize their comfort is a distant second to Auntie's delivery schedule. Or in short, they need to get back to work. My workers are striking people now? How very alarming. We must resolve this before things get even further out of hand. They've appointed some kind of leader, and he's the one you have to talk to. His name is, Dummy? No, that's not right. Dunce? Dummer. Dumbly? Dunbar. It's Dunbar. I believe he has demands, but I can't be bothered to remember what they were. They alter the generous terms Auntie offers, and so are egregious and should be rejected. You will find him up on the landing pad with some of his minions. Go help him understand the situation so everyone can get back to work. That clear? Yes, well, I'm sure you'll manage. Auntie has faith in you, therefore I shall too. Best of luck to you. Remember that your actions don't just reflect on you, you are also representing me, which is to say, you are also representing Auntie. Do us proud.
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Then what in law's name are you doing here? Well, that certainly is unexpected. And potentially wonderful. Assuming, of course, you can actually help us. Auntie's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is, poor, labor retention techniques? What's going on is, remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that. Right. Exactly. The conditions under which Auntie extracts our labor is, unacceptable. They're egregious, even.
They work 20-hour shifts, which require stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties. No, I'm just a fellow underling suffering the corporate grind who saw the plight of these poor folk and needed to help them make a fair and reasonable deal.
That's right. Leo has been an absolute wealth of what's what. Without him, we would still be toiling
under the yoke of oppressive undervaluation due to monstrous mismanagement.
Right, that.
Me? Why, my only motivation is...
Now hold it right there. We aren't here to talk about Leo. We're here to talk about what it's going to take to make us get back to work, right? Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're gnawing nickel pads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Yeah, well, of course you're gonna find it all ridiculous. You only care about what's best for Auntie. But there are demands all the same. Take them to Griggs.
では、交渉しに行きます。
Welcome back, Ameliorator. Did you make contact with workers? Do they understand that this stoppage is madness? Are they ready to return? So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheaths? To be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour workdays? Hour? Are they mad? What are they gonna do with the other half of the day? Lounge around the facility consuming air and water and power without compensating the company? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. Well, it's true that data shows higher worker productivity on sleep than on stims. I never imagined restful production being more cost-effective than longer hours. That would translate into more profit for the plant, which means larger bonuses for me, which should be more than enough to make up for the drop in hourly production. All right, you've convinced me. What else do they want? Free? Free? Nothing inside of Auntie's Choice is free. Law, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. Everything. Materials, labor, time, distribution, forced scarcity. Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down and plunging us all into anarchy. What in the void are you talking about? My greed is certainly doing no such thing. What? No! I would never! That's slander. And or libel. And you can't prove a thing. Well, fuck. That's quite the rub, isn't it? All right, what do you want? Huh. I don't know why you would waste leverage on them, but I suppose you've got your reasons. All right. They'll get their Adrena time, and you'll get all the bits I got on me. Is there more they ask? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. Oh my. You're probably right. It's been so long since I've shared a facility, I've forgotten how unpleasant it can be. I trust your insight and will leave it unlocked from now on. What more do they want? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good, but that would be downright farcical. There is nothing good about this situation. Please, just resolve it as quickly as possible.
結果を伝えに戻ってから再び工場長のところへ戻ります。
That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? She willing to see reason? That must have been quite the negotiation. Oh, my people can't thank you enough. This will be huge for us. Free time to sleep, relax and all? Wonderful. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? Well, I can't begin to tell you what a relief that is. By which I mean, that's great news. It'll be such a load off. A most promising development. How go the other hurdles of the negotiation? She willing to see reason? Free? Really? Why, I'd surely have lost that bet. I figured we'd ask for free and settle for wholesale. You're a miracle worker. Well, you have done exceptionally well by us, my new friend. With these new conditions, we'll return to work with vigor rather than dread. Thank you.
Damn! I really felt like I was close to signing all of you, and I needed that recruitment bonus. I don't know how I'm going to afford my hair cream now, but I'll get him next time. And he won't always have you working her ankles for her. And her usual agents don't stand a chance against me.
Next time? Against you? What in law's name are you saying? Sometimes you talk so odd it don't sound like you're Auntie's choice at all.
Yeah, I was starting to have the same thought.
It don't matter. All that matters is my working conditions have just improved mightily. Thanks to you, stranger. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're gonna get back to work.
I suppose that would be well enough, but this negotiation would have been much more succinct.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work, our disruption ameliorator. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra sprinkling of mild praise directly with Auntie. She will, no doubt, be excited to learn of my approval. You may tell the executives that dispatched you that you have done an adequate job. Under my keen supervision, of course.
では、幹部に伝えて今回は終わります。
We understand you've been a very busy little manty-wasp. Well, out with it.
Yes, time is bits. Tell us how it went.
A satisfactory effort, my ameliorator. I had hopes your talents would yield a result a mite more in our favor, but good work overall.
Well, I suppose I can't argue with the truth of that.
Anything else you'd like to report? Now that's the compelling attitude we love to see in an ameliorator. Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art. Damn right. Of course. We're Auntie's choice. We know what motivates people better than they do. Real marketing is gut-driven. It's not something you think about, it's something you feel. Or that is, convince someone to feel.
It is an intricately crafted, multi-phase marketing initiative that will introduce Auntie's choice to the rest of the galaxy and establish the foothold of our pending monopoly. It requires a series of daring, almost impossibly savvy, perfectly timed, and flawlessly executed stratagems to create optimal market positioning.
Whole thing's a load of bunco. Calculatory claptrap from a bunch of over-educated know-nothings who are so smart they're stupid. Go ahead. Tell them who devised it.
With pleasure! The archive on Cloister analyzed millions of variables with bazillions of permutations to create an idealized path for total competitive domination. Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary insight acquisition division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important? Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Actually, it's only 3. Surely you can handle twice that many tasks. I don't want to sound like the Order, but you could make a list, maybe. A few aspirational goals, if possible. If you see a chance to talk their lead scientist into joining us, and/or dig up additional details about the process, do so.
Which is to say, we'll make it more worth your while. I promise you'll never want for compensation while in our employ.
See you when it's done.